So what was your impression of Mark when you first met him, to go back to that?
You know, like I don't really remember, other than thinking he is a lot like he is today, which is like a relatively humble, like smart, driven guy. And I think it says a lot to a guy to have gone through that much and still be more or less the same person. I think, you know, obviously a lot more people know him now and he's older, but back then I think he was just super driven and focused on building Facebook. And even back then he talked about Facebook as being this thing that was going to be something that everyone in the world used. And, you know, I'll liken it to a story. So another random tidbit is that I worked at a company called Odeo that was pre-Twitter. Mm-hmm. So it was a group of people, Evan Williams, Jack Dorsey, and a bunch of others that were working on a podcasting startup. And I remember distinctly one of the co-founders of Odeo, when they were working on Twitter, saying to me, someday every celebrity in the world is going to use this, and bands are going to use this to communicate to their friends. And I remember thinking, like, this guy's crazy. Like, no one's going to use this thing. I barely used it at the time. I think I'm user like 270 or something. And I had no idea what it was for. And I think it comes back to, in the moment, ideas can seem really random and in fact, like when they seem random and when they seem hard to wrap your head around, that's almost when you need to pay twice as much attention. And I think that's what I've learned, at least over the last few years, is that success comes out of nowhere. And it isn't always the celebrity founder that does the next big startup. I mean,
it's frequently not.
Yeah, Mike and I were, you know, two random guys working at a pier in San Francisco that no one knew about. And you know, it came out of nowhere. And I think
versus Bill Nguyen, who's celebrity founder, raises an ass load of money, starts Color, and
I like the term ass load.